Disturbing trail cam footage no one was expecting. Picture this, a trail cam capturing images of wild animals, but then, out of nowhere, something far more bizarre and unexplainable pops up on your screen. What would you do if you saw a little girl levitating with her mother laughing at her side? Or imagine seeing a nun dancing with two human skeletons at a graveyard. Welcome back to Classified Stories, and today I'll be showing you 10 bits of trail cam footage no one was supposed to see. But be warned, you may find what you see quite scary. Before we get into the weird and eerie things, check out this wild boar inspecting the trail camera. It's almost as though it's not its first time dealing with one. It uses its snout to press some buttons, then goes back to either check out its very own reflection or make sure the camera was getting its good sights. Conspiracy theorists might say pigs might be pretending to be daft and dirty while secretly intelligent and running the world from behind the scenes. We won't object to that line of reasoning because, after all, why not? Next, we have this bear who thought it was a good idea to get its breakfast from the hen coop. It tries to make its way through the wire fence after making sure that no one was around. He, however, hears a sound and, not willing to risk being caught, he skedaddles. Still on bears, we know how dangerous they can be, but if you regularly go biking in the mountains, you might want to watch this trail cam footage. Not only did the black bear go after the biker, but it took a shortcut to allow it to catch the cyclist. Luckily for the cyclist, the bear never made it in time. He escaped, but barely. From this point onwards, you might want to make sure that you're watching this video in the highest quality available to you. You also want to make sure that you're not watching it alone. And whatever you do, do not turn off your lights. We start off the paranormal section with a really disturbing video. A lot is expected of nuns, but playing and dancing with the remains of the dead is not one, especially dancing with skeletons at the graveyard. Imagine passing by the graveyard and seeing a nun playing with not one, but two skeletons. And no, this is not an old video. It's as recent as September 2021 at the Whole General Cemetery. Is it inappropriate? Very much so. But what if it's not a nun at all? What if it's an occult group carrying out a ritual? There's no way a true nun would do this. I could be wrong. But what do you make of it? Russia is known for many things, but the paranormal is the least of those. That changed when this trail cam footage was published. What would you do if you saw a little girl levitating with her mother laughing at her side? I don't know about you, but I would do anything and everything to get the hell out of there. Horror movies have shown many times that it's not a good look. The man behind this footage did not, however, have that option. His dog started barking, which startled the duo. Luckily for him, they ran to avoid getting discovered. What do you think we're dealing with here? Witches, aliens wearing skin suits, or simply camera tricks? Could it also be that there is a meta-human project going on in Russia and these are subjects who escaped the facility? Is that the reason they ran when they heard the dogs barking? What would you do if you were moving through the woods and heard a very deep and long growl? Did you hear that? Now increase the audio to the highest and play it again. Was it clearer? What do you think it was? The sound does not fit any known predator, not the lion, bear, or tiger. Given the fact that they don't exist in the remote location of Ontario, Canada, where this was recorded, it couldn't be any of them. Those who recorded it, however, believe it's the legendary Bigfoot. We will, however, never know for sure, as the one who recorded the footage refused to go check it out. If you ask me, that's a very smart decision. You may have heard about demons, but have you heard about the mysterious surrounding balls of light? It's said that they tend to be spirits, ghosts, or fairies hovering around the area where they're seen. They're usually considered a sign of the paranormal or supernatural. This is what makes this trail cam image from the deep woods of Tennessee very worrying. The owner of the trail camera wondered if he'd stumbled into a forest with the supernatural. If he had, was he safe? These fears caused him to post this in a paranormal community. Some confirmed that he could indeed be dealing with paranormal activity. Others pointed out that it could simply be the flash of the camera. But this had no flash, it was a trail cam which shot video. Others pointed out it would be a function of the shutter speed or a flashlight from an external source. These sound logical, but simply don't fit. Could we be looking at paranormal activity, or is everyone simply being paranoid? Still on orbs, the home security system captured this row of bright orbs which are hovering in the backyard of the homeowner. Take a closer look at them. What do you think they are? If you watched the previous one, you already know what our thoughts are. The possibility of paranormal activity, and given the fact that there is more than one, it could be quite serious. The owners, however, left it alone because they could be balloons or some form of a lantern. Balloons we can understand, but lanterns? Do you think there is more to this, or are we simply being paranoid? Next up, we have something really bizarre. The owner of this trail cam video stared in fear and froze in shock when he came across this very unexpected footage from his cam. He had originally set up his trail camera expecting to capture some wildlife at night, but this was very different. It looked like a man, but a rather zombified one. Despite the fact that this was captured in October 2012, it was not during the season of Halloween. But even if it was Halloween, no one goes to the woods in their Halloween costume at that time. Secondly, it looked more like a physical condition than it did a costume. The only thing the one who captured it could think at the moment of seeing the footage was that he was looking at an actual real-life zombie. Did he not consider the possibility of a sick man, since there is no known illness that can do that to a person? But zombie? Is that even possible? Would the rest of the world know if zombies were real? This pushed him to publish it online, but like all things published on the internet, there are varied options. What do you think? Do you believe that this is proof that zombies actually exist? Although we prioritize trail cam footage, sometimes footage from security cameras is very hard to ignore, especially when they capture things such as this. What do you believe that you're looking at? If you mentioned an alien, then you and Vivian Gomez, the owner of the security camera that captured this in La Junta, Colorado, have similar ideas. At first glance, you might not think you're looking at anything out of the ordinary until you look again. E.T., the extraterrestrial, the alien from the character of the movie, as we all know, is fiction. But this looks real, which leaves one to question, how could this be? The explanation is not so simple, as we can't clarify our claims, but we could be looking at an extraterrestrial being, or simply put, an alien. From the footage, it's evident that the alien didn't know it was being filmed. But if this is indeed an alien, well, that leaves us with many questions. Where did it come from? And what is it doing? How many more of them do we have among us? Can we really trust that the things and people we see around us are really who and what they say they are? This brings us to our very much awaited footage. To some, the mythical New Jersey Devil has always remained a myth, but not to David Black, the owner of this footage. The man who was taking a stroll in southern New Jersey saw the New Jersey Devil take off and fly. Knowing no one would believe him if he just told them about it, he took his camera and shot what you're seeing on your screens currently. But does it look real? Does it meet your expectations? Do you believe it's the real thing? Tell us in the comments section.